Okay, everybody, good morning. It's early, and I haven't had my second cup of coffee, so maybe I'll be a little cranky. So anyway, Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. Yesterday, I don't know how many of you caught this. I have to do it. I was going to try not to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. They floated out the goal of the Federal Reserve. Yes, they did. Loretta Mester came out. And what did she have to say? Well, let me see if this is going to surprise any one of you. I doubt it. That the Federal Reserve should keep on raising rates because she doesn't see any meaningful change with regard to inflation continuing to rise. Can I please get a look, I'm really waiting for that moment when people are going to wake up. I don't think it's ever going to happen here. The Fed's been raising rates. Inflation going higher and higher and higher and higher. And all we're hearing from these freaks, oh, just wait, because they have Lex Luthor, Kashkari. He's waiting to be floated out too, so he can tell his tale about how the Fed could keep raising rates because inflation continues to rise and they don't see any change because it's not going to be one because central banks continue to inflate on an incredible scale. I covered this yesterday. Forget about their freaking balance sheet. Yes, indeed. You can go right over to the Federal Reserve's website and click on Federal Reserve balance sheet. You may see, or they may show you, that the Fed's balance sheet is shrinking. But they're inflating the money supply on a scale that we've never seen before. But that's being hidden from the public. I mean, think about this, honestly. Oh, yes. Go look over there. Look at the Fed's balance sheet because it does show that it's going down. But they're not talking about the global money supply. It's a complete deception. It's a distraction. You all know this. It's the game they play over and over and over and over again. It doesn't stop. It won't stop. Because they got the world by the throat and by the testicles. Can I say that? I think I can say testicles. I probably can't say balls. But that's the truth. Anyway, so, okay. We know the story. We know the narrative. And let me say something else too real quick. How can I put this? I happen to know for a fact, and this is a fact, I talk to everybody. You all know that. And, I really do talk to everybody. I happen to get a little tidbit of information here that I think you need to know about. So the mainstream media commentators, who some of them really do know what's going on, but they can't say it, they're being told to downplay the prospect or the possibility or the promise that we are moving into a severe recession. Now, we just heard from Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan just yesterday talking about this very thing. As a matter of fact, JP Morgan said millions of people are going to lose their jobs moving forward here. Can I please get another duh? It's always the same story here. You're being propagandized, but the mainstream media, they are downplaying for the people yet again as part of a distraction mechanism. Instead of talking about us moving into a severe recession or how the money supply continues to balloon or how the Federal Reserve is so serious about controlling inflation and the Fed's going to keep raising rates and how they could actually contract the money supply and end inflation in its tracks, you'll never hear this stuff from the mainstream. That is some kind of mind-screwing mechanism on an incredible freaking scale, and you all know that too. Ignore it. Turn it off. It's all bullshit, dog shit, cat shit, all wrapped up in reptile shit and sprinkled with bird shit and insect poop. I don't even know if insects poop, but I just kind of made that up. So, anyway, let's talk about a few other things here that are going on today. So, we're finding out yet again that retail sales, continue overall, not every single company, but most companies reporting retail sales have come in missing the mark by a large margin. What do we know about the U.S. economy? The U.S. economy is more than 70% dependent on retail sales. The consumer is getting crushed to death here. Again, people can't make ends meet. They continue to borrow from their credit cards just to pay bills. Savings rates in the negative here. Yeah, it's not a good recipe for things moving forward. But what else would you expect? So, look, I've explained and we've discussed right here. You're going to hear even taller tales from the mainstream media. They're going to continue to propagandize you and lie to you and tell you how great everything is. And maybe our president will come out again and tell you that inflation is zero. Oh, it's zero. Make that up too. Okay. The man may be brain dead, but he's not so brain dead that he can't lie to you. You understand? I hope you get it. Let's go look over here at the market today. It's really not a bad setup this morning. Crude oil is getting bid higher. All right. I don't know why that's actually going on. Was there a refinery fire? Didn't hear about a bombing, a terrorist attack? A terrorist attack? Who knows? Okay, we'll see where that goes. They won't allow crude to fall. Crude oil is the lifeblood of the military-industrial complex. The investment banks leveraged beyond in crude oil. So if they have to, call their friends to engineer some kind of a false flag, they'll do it here to keep crude propped up. You know the story. You know how this works here. U.S. dollar this morning under pressure. The 10-year yield overall over the past several days, although it's been moving around, is in a range here. It's stuck in a relatively tight range, and this may be enough. If they can keep the relative strength of the dollar low and they can keep the 10-year yield in a tight range, that alone may be enough to signal to the market, hey, central banks, the Federal Reserve, is giving the illusion of stability here in the debt market. But as you and I clearly know, nothing could possibly be further from the truth here. The debt market is absolutely illiquid. It is very unstable. The only reason why we're seeing some stability here is central banks buying it. They're buying all the debt. It's not you. It's not me. It's central banks. They're buying. And look, you all know this too. With regard to the Fed's balance sheet that I alluded to a little while back, there are two balance sheets. Most corporations have two balance sheets. A public balance sheet that you're allowed to see, and then stuff that's hidden from the public here, off balance sheet stuff, or they're kind of cryptic balance sheet. And the same thing goes for central banks, including the Federal Reserve here. Nowhere will you see how the Federal Reserve is funneling dollars around the world to other central banks who have been buying assets with U.S. dollars for many, many years. You're not allowed to know this. You're going to see the Federal Reserve can do whatever they want to. They can send dollars here. They can send dollars there. Whatever they want to do. They have this zero oversight. But that's all this stuff off balance sheet you're not allowed to see. All right, so sure, go enjoy the public balance sheet that shows you. It will show you, because they're telling you that their balance sheet's dropping. Nothing could be further from the truth. They're inflating at an epic pace, a feverish pace, and they're not going to stop. What else is going on here? Gold and silver are catching a bid. Cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin back around 16,000 US dollar lower. That's where we stand this morning. So the setup here for the market isn't bad. As I have said to you, look, you want to know where the market's going? There's no guesswork here on this channel at all, okay? We watch global bond yields, more specifically the 10-year yield. We watch the relative strength of the dollar and the MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator, free to everyone on this planet. Link in the description of this video. That's it. Once we know already where the line in the sand is with regard to the MMRI. It's 300. 300 is when the MMRI goes from high risk to extreme. When we cross 300, that exact same day, they floated out Nick the Pig, the Fed Whisperer, and they floated out the gender-confused Mary Dolly, who doesn't know who she is, what she wants to be, or it is, day to day. There's no idea. It's really the truth. And they sent out simultaneously, or one after the other, to talk the market up, explaining that the big secret is that the Fed's going to start to taper back from their aggressive stance on raising rates, and they were going to pause sometime next year. You and I knew that before the announcement. Okay, we talked about it right here in this video blog. Can I get another duh, please? Look, if I don't do these little things, I already have a freaking headache. It's my blood pressure. I feel like it's going higher. I'm probably going to stroke out here on camera one day. I can't tell you how much this stuff gets to me. It really does. This blog, as much as I enjoy doing it, and I love talking to all of you here, it's not good for my health. I'm telling you the truth. All right, people, look, I covered everything for you that you need to know for this morning. Please comment. Let me know what you think. Share the video. Get it out there. And, of course, we will reconvene here at the end of the day. We'll sum this all up and see if I can keep my blood pressure down. All right? That's it. See you later.